My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to SpellRogue, where I'm actually not entirely certain what we're doing this. It's Hazel, and last Hazel run was an A, which means it's Hazel B. Hazel B. The signature spell is Earth Within. 3 countdown, 2 times a turn, roll a 5 or a 6. Rampart, a 5 or a 6, 2 times a turn, gives you 5 block, and Boulder Toss, 7 countdown, 2 times a turn, deal 8 damage. With a good run here, we'll get the final milestone as of yet unlocked, which is having level 10 on Hazel. Alrighty then. Not taking Inhibition, not taking Hush. So we're starting to get a little limited in what I'm going to do here. Boy. Start with 70% less max HP. Enemies start with 4 Shade Armor and 1 Dodge. And 1 Power. Alright then. This is going to be interesting. So Shade Armor. Gain 4 block. They have 4 Shade Armor, so 4 block. When receiving the next attack damage, Shade Armor is increased by 1 when triggered and resets to 4 at the start of the next round. So if the enemy has no block, I hit them, they gain 4 Shade Armor, and now it increments to 5. Or rather, they gain 4 block, Shade Armor increments to 5, and then the next time that turn I do any damage to their health, they gain 5 block, and then Shade Armor increments to 6. So realistically, you just want to give them 1 big thump. Enemies start with 1 dodge. That's going to make it less likely I want to do 1 big thump. Maybe I get an AoE in the build to get rid of that dodge and then big thump. I don't know. This is going to be a weird one. Granite Orb on turn 1, apply 2 days to all enemies. Stoneforge Greaves on turn 1, gain 1 power. Or Shimmering Totem. On turn 1 and 2, enchant a dice with Glimmer. I do like Glimmer. But maybe let's take Granite Orb this time. Help me avoid a little bit of damage. Ooh, 2 elites over on the left-hand side. You know that means that's where I'm going. Oh, Dread Treant. That's a lot of buffs. I can only do 1 Boulder Toss and then prep another Boulder Toss in a single turn. That's all I'm capable of. With it having 7 countdown cost, that's the only real thing I can do. Thankfully here I can pre-bake the next one to be big. And I'll kill you next turn after a couple ramparts get me through this one. I gotta make sure I don't lose health as well, because I do not have much. Gaia's Wrath, Sow Power, and Instinct. So a Gaia's Wrath that deals 2 damage and gains 2 power at the same time, to me, does seem pretty cool. Because the first time I use that to hit anyone, it's not going to be that impactful. Whereas the second time, it'll be a lot more impactful. So if they're going to dodge the first hit, may as well let them dodge that one. Unfortunately, the best I can do this turn is Boulder Toss for no effect and defend myself. The enemy is going to get a Shambler here that is also going to spawn with all of... Wait! Oh no! Summons spawn with the dodge as well. Oh, that's not good. Oh boy. I'm going to heavily target the Shambler to prevent it from summoning another friend. Yeah, I had to expect this turn was going to be pretty hard. There's a single 6. I can defend against 5 incoming damage with that. I have to. And there's another summon. Okay, I immediately feel very non-confident about the success of the rest of this run. So I am cursed and weak. I need to roll really high this turn, so that doesn't matter so much. That doesn't count as that. A single 6? Would that have done it? No, both 6s would have done it though. That would have been the ability to throw out Gaia's Wrath and then a Boulder's Toss. The only thing I'm capable doing is double defending this turn and then watching myself die. Unfortunately, I had 2 weaken. It wore off at the end of the round, so it currently looks like I could have used the Boulder's Toss to win, but I couldn't have. Couldn't have taken out any of the chumps as well. I would have had to use 2 attacks. Yeah, okay. That... Yeah. Yeah, I know, I know, Hazel. Adaptation. Irrecoverable. And... Turn 3, receive 2 Rupture, and every second turn, receive 4 damage. Thank you. Should be much more manageable. And you know what? I'm still going to take the Granite Orb. Those are the 2 most impactful turns, you see. Oh, there is only one elite path for double. It's got to be over on the left-hand side. I'm already traumatized by y'all. Get out of here. Get out of here. One Boulder Toss coming up. And a second one for free. Sacred Shimmer. 6 countdown. Deal 6 damage, roll a die. Love it. Seems a very easy inclusion in this build where I often generate 6s. Seems like it's just 6 free damage. Oh, that's a 6. Let's prepare some Boulder Toss for the next turn, you see. Enough defense to get through it. Oh, hang on. Forgot about the extra 4 damage from Tempest. But we'll manage to get through. All right. Currently, a real struggle of mine is I don't have anything to do with low die. So something I might want to do with a 2 is Carapace. Even, gain 2 block. Sorry, gain... on an even, rather, 2 times a turn. Gain 8 block and receive 1 sap. That's a lot of defense for a single 2 to give you. Although 2 is not a very common die that I generate, it would be useful to have something to do with them when I do. Because at least a 6th of the time, I'm going to end up with 1. And at least a 6th of the time, I'll end up with 2 instead. Let's throw out the Shimmer. We can in fact take out that backline target this turn. And then set up for the Boulder Toss next. Let's use Carapace for our full defense this turn. Excellent. All's well that ends well. Single Sacred Shimmer and Boulder Toss takes out the enemy, and we continue moving onwards. Countdown synergies definitely seem like they would work with this build. Infuse Scales. +3 to a 6. Gain X block 2 times a turn. Return the dice with -2 to its value. We could also give it -1 and get an additional block. Natural Hardiness. 8 countdown twice a turn. Gain 7 block. On turn 1, gain 1 Fortify. Fortify giving additional effect to other blocks that we might cast, and Force of Nature. On odd, on even. On odd, do damage, on even, gain block. I'm going to take Natural Hardiness with the possibility of including it later on. I mean, realistically, I could probably replace Rampart at the moment already. We pick up a shard. I would very much like to put this in something aggressive. Sacred Shimmer 3 times a turn? That's not going to be especially easy to do. However, with Beast Within, I do generate more 6s. Yeah, let's give it some additional charges. Should be more than simple to prevent the Shambler from growing here. Hello? Wow. Shambler? Rolling only 2s here is pretty dire. Okay, well, I got a Sacred Shimmer. That rerolls something else, and it gives me another 2. Wow. Thankfully, I get another 6, and I can use that in Sacred Shimmer again against the enemy. Good lord! Unfortunately, the enemy wasn't attacking that turn, so the 2s going into Carapace was not working so well. I was re-rolling that a lot of times, really hoping I was ultimately going to end on a odd of any kind for the sake of Carapace. I do not, and I lose 9 health about it. Oof. Force of Nature, Flourish, and Totem. I'm just going to take Flourish. It's Beast Within-ish. 12 countdown, 1 time a turn, roll 2 5 or 6s. I could lower its cost, or I could give it more charges. Like, if I find the ability to lower the countdown cost of that significantly, yeah, I could see that being useful. And it's possible we do. Sacred Shimmer the enemy with our first 6. Use that 3 to see if I reroll a new 6. That 4 for the same reason. I do not on either. It's okay. I will go for another Sacred Shimmer still. And again. I'm looking for a Carapace as soon as I can get one this turn. I already have a 2 in hand for it. Very happy about that. Oof. Okay, I want another even for Carapace again. it's not like I want to let up on the attack if I don't have to. It'll cost them some health to have pushed the offensive there. And given the enemy is taking this turn off to power up, I'm not so sure, not so certain. I was going to say certain because I was trying to say sure at the same time. I'm not so certain that this was actually necessary, because I would have also had all of the extra attacks that I would have gotten at the start of the next turn before the enemy hit me. Raining Tonic, so good. Desolation. Accepts 2 die and does X plus X damage. On a 12, return the die. So that's perfect. Protect Sproutling. Cast 14 spells, gain a blessing. Yep. I legitimately want any source of additional blessing I am capable of getting. I will take that. Thank you very much. This whole build is going to be about rolling the highest die possible. Unlikely to get the double 6 off the bat, you see. More likely to be gained over a couple of rolls like this. I'd already baked some defense on the previous turn, so I can get through that one, and then we'll take out the Will-o'-the-Wisp with pretty much anything this turn. And the Protecting Sproutling is ready for the first turn of the next combat. Transfigure, eh? How do you transfigure? 5 countdown. 1 charge. Deplete another spell. Gain 3 block for each charge removed. And hurl Monolith, just a big old thunker. I'm gonna take Transfigure in case I see a very, very appealing deplete spell. Hello, Corrupt Abbot. Hey, where's Corrupt Costello? Let's give him the bits. I could take 3 damage to you this turn if I really wanted to. It's not. I think I will. Okay, definitely don't want to use Beast Within this turn if we can avoid it. Oh, double 6s. That goes in Desolation. We do 12 damage and then it returns those 6s. Incredibly Sacred Shimmers. That's 2 turns of attacking for you, friend, which means you're about to try and buff your defensiveness. Oh, and you've left all of my damage unlocked. Well. Oh, thank you kindly. Okay, I wanted to increment the Protecting Sproutling again, as much as I could. Got it to its highest possible charge before it activates. Take a Split Potion with me, Revitalize, Shatter, and Cultivate Might. Revitalize. That is Blessing. Let's take it. Dwarven Tankard on potion use, gain 2 concoction. Admittedly, if I drank a potion and then I just desolated a couple times with free 6s, that'd be sick. But I am going to start needing additional shards. I gain only 2 max health by selling one up the river. Maybe I don't care at that rate. No, but I'm not going to find a shop early enough on the next floor to prevent me from ending up having to throw away a spell, probably. Let's avoid the possibility of that outcome, eh? It's 3 goes in Beast Within, see if we get a 6 with the Desolation. We do indeed. I'm not going to stun the Heart of the Forest this turn. I want to stun you next turn, ideally. I get no evens, and I don't get enough to cast Natural Hardiness, so instead I will be taking 6 damage this turn. Realistically, it is probably still the best outcome for us. There's that 6, baby! Stun that power gain. Gotta stun the pain away. And sure, I'll throw a couple Sacred Shimmers in there to prevent myself from getting hexed. I should have put the 6 in Carapace, because then I could have put the 2 in Revitalize to prepare it. That's not a 6. That's more like it. Realistically, I do just want to prepare for a better next turn there. Defend as well as I can. Oh, there's that double 6. Whee! And if I Revitalize, I end up with some additional 1s, which counts basically as I was about to use a 6 for the sake of Sacred Shimmer. It's going to be hard to leave this fight with a good value on the Protecting Sprappling unless I stay for longer than I feel like I want to. Let's Revitalize these into a Desolation that will work. There we go. I just want to roll an additional die each turn. Turn 1, roll an Ether. I'll go for the Dreadstone. I just want the reliability of 1 additional die every single turn. That heavily increases the value of using Revitalize. Makes it much more likely that I end up with enough 6s to go off for a turn. Oh, wow. That's cruel. Okay, there is only 1 to Elite Path here, but it avoids a shop that I really want to get. I'm going to take the shop. I have too much money, and I have too many spells that I want to sell right now to avoid taking a shop. Yeah. That's not exactly what I wanted to see on my turn. It's closer, but still not it. Okay, we got reasonably close by the end there. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This 4 goes into Revitalize, and now I have 2 6s for Desolation. And then when those 6s come back, I can use them for Sacred Shimmer. Oh, I should have used my Carapace first. Oops. Unfortunately, this enemy will ignite spells that I use to damage them. So I'll need to defend when I use Sacred Shimmer as well. But we have just enough damage to take him out this turn. Beautiful. We also managed to increment the protecting Sproutling a couple more times before the end there, as well as defend ourselves from the giant amount of damage we were taking to the Ignites. Sacred Herb Tea. Roll 2 5/6s. We'll drop the split potion for that happily. Morphosis. I don't really want power gain in this build. Totem and so power. I'll take it just, again, in case I see, like, an insane setup. Attacks gain 20% lifesteal for a turn. Add a charge to a spell. I do like adding a charge to a spell. Like, adding a charge to Desolation is just another 12 damage I get for free. It's pretty good. Shop time? Gleaming Mana, eh? Yeah, Gleaming Mana's not that good for us. Glint Glaive increases by 1 for each blessing. I just don't gain a ridiculous amount of blessing, unfortunately. Guiding Eye. End of each turn, if less than 6 spells have been cast, gain 1 Foresight. I mean, how often is that going to be the case for us? Sometimes, technically. Stupefying Stone on turn 1, 5 weak to all enemies. Always do like that. I'll be taking that. Star Protection on a 5 roll, gain 2 block. Yep, definitely want both of those. I could keep Flourish if I desperately wanted to, but I have no reason to at this point. Do I think Guiding Eye could even help me? Maybe I want to save more money for the next shop. I don't think it can help me. Also, what if this next event is one of those where you pay 150 and it gives you a shard? That'd be incredible. Incredible. I mean, when I roll 5s, I do get some block. Can't be too sad about that. I wanted to see if I could get a 6 from that. Just gonna throw a 4 and a 5 into Desolation for some damage. Here we go. This is the turn we want it. Desolation, gain an additional charge. I will do 12 damage. Twice to the frontline target. Take him out. Let's use this even on the carapace. And then I got Sacred Shimmer 3 times for you. No incoming damage this turn, literally at all. So perfect, I'll just keep up the aggression then. Oh no, I keep forgetting to block before the end. Whoops. It's all good. Some gold, Oaken Self, Fleeting Might, and Spirit Arrows. Oaken Self accepts any 2 die, has 2 charges. Gain Blessing is the depleted value of it. Or roll an additional die if I invest more than 10 into it. Honestly, seems like a pretty sick way for us to block. But it seems like we'll scale into being able to use this better, especially if it rolls a die. I have 150. I lose 21 max health in order to gain the shard. I will do that. Mana Symmetry. 1 to 3. Duplicate dice. Nope. Give me the shard. Desolation hitting all enemies would be pretty sick. Especially because this could be the Crones. And at the end of this floor, we have the Hydras. Yeah, okay, I definitely want to make the Desolation hit all enemies. And I am going to want to sub out Oaken Self for Carapace as soon as I finish that fight. Just take the health again. I'm going to keep the spell. Hello, Jin. I mean, hitting all of them is also really good on this, so it's not like I'm at all saddened by the outcome here. Gain a blessing for the next turn. There we go. One additional charge to Desolation, please. And now I'll be taking out the illusion. Ah, which does count as a unit, of course. I did need to defend. Put this 4 into Revitalize. Gaining a couple of 1s. I can put one of those 1s into Beast Within. 3 into Beast Within. Let's pop a 5 into Natural Hardiness and then start with Sacred Shimmers. Already well defended, so we'll prepare for Mind. As it turns out, I forgot about the Tempest again, so I do need to over-defend. That's okay, I got 2 Blessing, so should be, yeah, pretty simple to throw another Desolation at them all. It's also incredibly simple to forget to defend again. It's so easy to do it. do not have 6s yet. There we go, that's one. And thankfully I can revitalize to generate my other 6. Great, giving me the ability to now do the double desolation play once more. And in fact, this time it will even represent the end of the fight. Infuse Potency. Hello. Exactly the kind of tool that needs to go into this build. Gives us additional dice to roll, and it just asks me to take my foot off the gas for a turn. Skjoldor. On health loss, gain delayed block equal to the health lost. I could also just gain an additional slot and then infuse potency in it and then scale out of control in the opening stage of the next fight. I could do that instead, though. I think I'm going to do that. Let's revitalize. Gaining blessing for the next turn, as well as giving myself the ability to desolate. And then I could follow this up with a bunch of sacred shimmers. And I'll follow it up with at least one. But now I can comfortably just infuse some potency. So infuse potency just gives us the ability to roll an additional die next turn. In fact, every turn from here on out. It's not just foresight. Oh, that's 2 6s. Additional charge of desolation will give us the ability to boom. Blow up some targets. I do love a good turn 2 kill. Weakness gas. I don't think I need that before I need any of the other potions that I currently have. Proliferate, Gleaming Mana, and Preemptive Strength. The only one here that really has any interest in my mind is Proliferate, and I don't want it. It's the one that has the most value, and I would really rather not just get something else instead. I don't really have much scaling damage in this build, though. What am I planning to defend for like 50 every single turn in the final fight and go like long? I'll take it. I'm not happy about it. I don't want to use it, but I will take it. Head on to this battle. I'm not going to use the Desolation early. I'm going to focus on using... Actually, I will use it early. As long as it hasn't killed anything, it's fine. I'm just going to focus on making sure I infuse enough potency as well. Infuse potency. Also trying to get the protected Sproutling to go off, which it does now. Perfect. I mean, an ideal first turn does end with us having 1 potency and 2 blessing. That's great. Can't restore potency to infuse potency, unfortunately. There we go, infusing even more potency. That's all of the scaling that I need done. So I'm ready to start hitting the Hydra heads themselves. I finally got something that was actually even. I just realized at the end of this that I'm still going to have to block again. I thought I was going to get away without it, but I keep forgetting about the Tempest 4 damage. Here we go, welcome in the newbies. The 4 and a 3 into natural hardiness. 2 1s into Beast Within, and then I'll just double cast Carapace for the sake of incrementing the Sproutling. Oh, big old AoE's going out this turn. Desolation. 12 damage to everyone. Twice. And I'll keep the die from that as well. I'm thinking of just double Carapace and end the turn, frankly. Just for the sake of the protected Sproutling as well, I'll cast a couple more spells and then refill their countdowns ready for the next turn. This 2 additional potency is insane. I'm probably not going to do it in like every floor fight, but it's definitely worthwhile right now. What I need for this point in a fight, though, is some way to transition out into doing more damage via some other resource. We can generate a huge amount of block when we need to. Generating some power would also be really helpful here. Double up on the big old Desolation again. Ideally, I want to kill both of you at the same time. Will the new ones get damaged? No. Dang. There's a little support for the theory that the first one might die, spawn 2 new heads, which would then themselves also become damaged. I don't necessarily think it should work like that. It's just other interactions I have seen would suggest the possibility that it could have. Alas. Okay, we're not being weakened this turn. That's great. So we're setting up for a big old double Desolation turn next turn. Sacred Shimmering whenever I can. And then defend as much as this turn is asking me for. Oh boy. They're asking for a lot of defense again. Throw some damage on the field first. And then revitalize as well. Make sure that I've got some blessing going into the next turn. Ideally, I would like to get 2 targets to the death zone. Okay. Unfortunately, due to the Tempest, we are going to be taking a fair whap this turn. There's the Desolation. I'm not going to be able to take out. Okay. I'll keep up the damage and just defend after all this. Perfect. Now Desolation should get us just over the line. I thought I might have the additional thing next turn, previous turn rather. As I say, the Astral Attunement. Was not thinking. There we go. Goodbye to the Hydra. And hello to another shard. And another boss relic. And some gold and some health. Dark Ray Scythe. I mean, look. If Desolation did do double damage, it'd be pretty cool, I guess. Okay, sure, let's try it. Infused Potency is going to need additional charges so I can scale it better, I think. Because I gave up die there instead of gaining an additional one, so I am going to want some tool to gain that value back, please. Got a relatively early shop here that I'm going to be turning up at. Didn't roll a 6. Dang. I'm gonna drop a Revitalize on this field just to get +1 for my next turn. I'm not going to use the additional charge this turn. I'm going to take my 1 hit. Perfect. And move forward. Desolation is now 24 to you, and we get to do that twice. Put this 4 into Revitalize, giving me a 3 and a 1. That 3 can go into Beast Within, rolling a new, giving me a 2. Great, that 2 is going to give me the ability to defend against the incoming damage from the Dreadstone. Oh no, but I'm Ruptured. That's where the extra damage came from. Thankfully, at the end of this turn, we do now have the ability to infuse Potency. Should help me to deal with the additional units on field. Put 2 4s into Natural Hardiness, a 5 into Revitalize, turning a 1 to a 2 so that I can use Carapace instead. I'm going to use Sacred Herbal Tea to try and get me out of this position as well. Just need some more defense, frankly. An additional charge to Desolation, and now it's time to actually throw the damage out on the field. Woo! Yeah, that additional die matters a lot. Pox Flare, Bramble Growth, and Totem. Out of these, I think Pox Flare, maybe? Natural Hardiness is not really being utilized to its largest effect in this build. That does feel like the first thing to go, but I want some other defense in its place. Maybe even take Totem, because I'm not going to use Box Flare, so might as well take the spell I might theoretically end up using. Spellbound Chorus. Gain a Spell Echo. Spell Echo on Infused Potency is pretty sick. Gives you an additional free die. No charge, no cost. Hello, Morphosis. Welcome back. Dilapidated Crown every second time losing health, gain a power. Ghost Charm. Dodge on turn 1, thank you. Astral Visor on turn 1, add 1 charge to a random spell 4 times. Thank you. Oaken Self is really where I want to go with my block. I should honestly probably just sell the Natural Hardiness and move. Take the Dilapidated Crown. I'm going to take a reroll to all dice, because I could need that. Do 2 more shards benefit us? Yes, Oaken Self and Carapace could still benefit very easily. that 4 into Revitalize. Dodge is gone. The enemy did no damage on that turn. And we can use Beast Within as well as Desolation twice this turn. I could spawn a single instability for you, but then I'm still taking a lot of damage. I'll take only 2 damage and spawn no instabilities for you. I almost never do this, but I think killing those instabilities would just buff the Orb of Infinity too high for my sake. Let's see, realistically, I'm supposed to do this. Because I put Spell Echo on it. Oh my god, the second one gave me 2 6s back. So actually, it is way the better play now. Because now I can... Oh my god, do I want to do that first? Let's Revitalize. And then infuse Potency twice. Okay, yeah, Spell Echo on Desolation gives 2 6s back to me after the cast. That's incredible. Oh, you just voided all my 2s. Rude. That's a lot of damage you're trying to do to me this turn. And I can't really finish you unless I use the Branding Tonic. So let's do that. Unfortunately, the Protected Sproutling just tips over at the end. Energizing Potion for +2 charges on something. Gleaming Force Emanate and Infuse Scales. Yeah, this is not really outseen. I'll reroll. Still looking for the possibility of gaining better defense. Sanctify Shield. I'll hold it. Everguard, gain tenacity, -2 block from spells. Yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'll take the shard because I need the spells, is the thing. Let's get the Oak Self to roll an additional die when I fulfill it. 60 gold for a Crystal Heart. I'm gonna go for the Void spell. Glimpse of the Void. Well, Invoke Mana actually could be really good for us at the start to help us get our feet under us. I'm gonna take it. I kind of want to replace Carapace with it, but I don't think I can do that yet. Or maybe I can. Maybe I need to. Sacred Shimmer is so not really damage for us anymore. Like, it's Desolation and Infuse, and then I defend. So perhaps I get rid of Sacred Shimmer. Maybe pop Carapace back and build for the moment. Get rid of Sacred Shimmer at the next available opportunity. Hello, Chaos Angel. 3 and a 1 into the old beast within. That's a 6. I'm gonna want to revitalize. Lump a bunch of desolations out on the fields. And realistically, I probably do let my dodge lapse here as I infuse potency instead. +1 charge to Desolation. Perfect. I now get to infuse my potency without risking my own health. Okay, I probably don't want to just spell echo Desolation. I'm gonna spell echo Oaken's Self to try and get big defend. Let's first revitalize. Actually, let's first Beast Within, then revitalize. Then I'm gonna get the spell echo active, Oaken's Self for 12 block twice, and roll 2 additional new die. In with the Desolation because I can and I need to. Unfortunately, I have no other evens. Let me invoke mana again. Wow. Okay. Well. I can't infuse potency this turn because I had to use them all to defend. Said we're definitely going to be handing out some Desolation this turn. There's the rest of the potency infused. Rolling 7 die at a time right now. That's grand. I do need my damage potential to be higher than just 48 a turn, though. Oh, it's 48 every other turn, actually. Still feeling like the build has giant gaps in it. Mend magic, add a charge to a target spell. Ultimate power, double your power, unrestorable. Gain fortitude. Illumin for every 3 attack spells cast in a single turn, 10 damage to a random enemy. That's not going to be good for us. And I'll take the additional shard here. I want to give Fortitude the ability to actually scale our defense significantly. I do think for these battles, Invoke Mana is the one that I want to go with, but I'm going to want to burn the Sacred Shimmer and get Invoke Mana out of the build in order to replace it with damage for the sake of the final fight. Wow, Desolation wants to be cast that many times this turn. I'd love to cast Desolation that many times this turn. I can't, but I'd love to. Pop a 4 into Revitalize, so that I now have a 3 and a 5. A 3 can go into Beast Within, rolling again. A 5 can go into Invoke Mana. Thrice. There's our 6s. That'll be my ability to Desolate a couple times. A 6 and a 4 into Oaken's Self for the defense. Perfect. A 4 into Beast Within. Obviously, I was looking for something else than that. That's okay. Nothing else really. I was about to say nothing else really helps us cast this turn, but finish casting the rest of them for the sake of our protected Sproutling. See. Yeah, I'm gonna need to defend myself with Fortitude. There we go. Because I intend to kill both of you this turn with Desolation. It's great for AoE fights. Transfigure, Nurture, Gleaming Value, none of these seem appropriate. Nurture would not be bad in this build, for what it's worth, but it's not the damage, and the damage is the thing that I really need right now. Wild Strikes. I don't really gain power, so let's see how that works unless I find a power kit as well. Orb. No, it's not Orb, it's Daughter Bond. Hello, Daughter Bond. Oh boy! That is not an opening hand. Oh no. What an utter disaster of a first turn. We allow the enemy to summon, we lose the turn that we actually had the advantage. Oh gosh. Definitely gonna have to Invoke Mana a bunch here. It almost feels like Invoke Mana is actually a necessity to get this build online. I really hope that's not the case, but it does feel like it right now. Let's Revitalize. It's finally time for Desolation. Thins out the battlefield for us. We'll infuse potency at the end, making the fight significantly easier every time we do so. Let's revitalize so that we end up with enough 6s that I can do something like this. Gain Spell Echo and then Desolate for boom. Boom! Even more 6s! Let's go for utter maximal defense. And then the first Desolation next turn will claim you. Which is, of course, why I will try and delay that for as long as I can. There we go. Good old Protected Sproutling, and this is the last spell we will see. Weakening Gas is not going to be incredible in the next fight. None of that is damage, and... Gaia's Wrath does represent some scaling. I don't want it, but it does represent the ability to scale. I'm going to get rid of the Sacred Shimmer, gaining the shard back from that. Now we have to figure out what we got to do here. So Gaia's Wrath gaining less damage dealt but more power gain, and then just siphoning 6s into that after I've given myself the ability to defend via generating infused potency and using Oaken's Self in addition to that. It feels like the tool that I'm being asked to take out of the build right now is Desolation in the strangest way. Because Invoke Mana will still get us to the right position. 2 attacks a turn are the best my attacks get. This will gain the power over the course of the fight much more effectively than Desolation will. Well... So my goal is to infuse as much potency as I am capable of, as quickly as I am capable of. Let's get into it. I do want to revitalize this turn as well. Twice, if possible. Gain our first potency. And you know what? I'm going to use Flowing Mana for the reroll here. Wow, we do actually get the ability to infuse potency again. That's huge. That's a tremendous change in trajectory here. Especially because we're up against the enemy that's going to be breaking our stuff. Go 4 into Revitalize, so I gain some 1s. Those 1s are capable of popping open Oaken Self. I want to leave an Infused Potency for next turn so I can hit it with Spell Chorus. Sorry, Spellbound Chorus. Let's start gaining some power. Invoke Mana was already out of charges, so it being broken doesn't change anything to me. Spell Echo on Infused Potency. I'm going to gain 2 more potency. We're rolling 8 die a turn now. Into Beast Within. A 4 into Revitalize. Sets us up for all the 6s I could ever need. Let's pop a 5 and a 6 into Oaken Self. Rolling a new die. I'm going to gain an additional charge to Beast Within, reroll there, put a 3 and a 3 into Fortitude, a 6 and then a 6 as well, giving us the 3 barrier for having completed that. I will be taking some damage past that this turn, but that's just going to give us an additional power. Our power is now scaling to the point that we are going to be thumping Arcanax pretty severely. Also Revitalize with 4, gain all the 1s that I need to open my spells back up. Needed to roll slightly higher in order to be able to use Fortitude to its full extent this turn. I almost want to pop out an Energizing Potion here. I'm not going to, though. I think I'm far enough ahead that I can save my tools for if things are much more dire than they currently are. Let's gain a Spell Echo on Gaia's Wrath. 34, now 38 damage. Give it an additional charge. Go. We got you to your transition value. And heck, I'll even have the ability to gain more barrier after that. So we've got 6 block coming in at the end of the turn, every turn. Helping us keep up with the enemy's power growth. That should now be a priority of mine, I believe. Losing another 5 health this turn. Yeah, comfortable with that. Two Gaia's Wrath this turn should already be enough to take the enemy down to a much more manageable health value to destroy. Perfect. And because I was capable of doing that there... 3, 6, and 4, it itself quickly. I'm going to go for a 5, and then a 6, and then a 6, all in Fortitude. I'm going to give it an additional cast so that I can deplete it again with another 6, gaining 12 barrier total. And then cast Oaken Self to get us to full defense. Gain Spell Echo, and I'm going to Gaia's Wrath you twice. And 1/3 time for fun. Well done, Hazel. We can ignore the fact that the streak was broken, right? No? Okay. Hazel starts a new streak of 1 here. That said, for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been SpellRogue. Top left is a series playlist for all their content with Game Pass, present, future, YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Neko Hime. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.